Hi, I'm really excited to do this review for my brand new Inergy Kodiak Solar Generator. Now, what is this thing? Essentially, it's a gigantic lithium ion battery, and what it does is it provides both alternating current and direct current options for a whole host of activities. Perhaps you're working construction and you need power at offsite, and it would be usable for that. Perhaps you're a van dweller or someone who likes to camp off the grid, be valuable for that. For me, I like to do outdoor movies, and a lot of the discussions we have for folks in the various groups that I participate in is perhaps they have a large piece of property and they want to be able to move their outdoor theater to the far reaches of the property where they don't have power running to that. This is an option for that. This will support that endeavor. Some people might have medical needs in which they need power. Perhaps you're on a CPAP machine for sleep apnea. This would be a good option for that. And this is also nice to have around the house in the event of an emergency, unforeseen power outages, particularly for individuals that live in areas that are prone to that, perhaps areas that get a lot of hurricanes or tornadoes that can impact the power grid. Again, as we discussed, a whole variety of options that are available. You can see that you've got 4 USB ports, and that comes with alternating current. You see 2 12-volt sockets that you use, anything that would run off the cigarette lighter in your vehicle. 6 standard 120-volt outlets there, and then this is a 30 amp service, which may look a little funky to some of you, but if you have a camper you'll recognize this, and this is one of the coolest features about it, is it allows you to plug right into it, just like you would shore power if you had a camper. Solid construction. It's got a grip, lets you carry it, and it has these 2 loops off to the side that you can attach the shoulder strap that comes with it, and it allows you to carry it. Again, solid construction, and it comes through in the weight. So it's about 20 pounds, which sounds pretty heavy. However, when you consider the weight of a gas generator, for example, I have one of the Honda EU 2000i generators, which are considered one of the most portable, most efficient, and quietest generators on the market. Now those run about 40 to 45 pounds, and that's before I have even factored the gas that I've got to carry into it. So at less than half the weight, it definitely is portable. It's also a lot smaller. It's about the size, so you can see my hand in front of it, it's about the size of an oversized shoebox or an ammo can, and it kind of feels the same way too. I'm going to turn it on real quick, and you will notice the lack of sound that you don't hear, or you'll notice that you don't hear a lot of sound. Pretty much it just has a couple of small, what sounds like computer fans running. You see the Kodiak cutout right here, and that's one of the vents. And then there's another vent on the back side as well to help cool the battery. And those haven't activated just because I turned it on. What's really nice about it being super quiet is, again, this is something that you could get away with powering your RV during those quiet hours in the campground in which you couldn't run a traditional generator. There's not going to be any issues. In fact, if you didn't need to power up the entire RV, you could go ahead and just bring this into the camper and run your accessories off of it, and nobody's going to be any the wiser. Again, if you have medical equipment like a CPAP machine, the only thing I would say is this blue light would probably be a little disruptive. However, you could throw a towel over it and you're not going to have any problems. You see this little light indicator right here, and that shows where your battery is currently at. One of the nice things about this battery, as opposed to a traditional lead acid battery, is it is a smart battery, and it's going to shut off and it's no longer going to discharge once you get into that hazardous range. So you don't have to worry about developing a memory or doing any harm to it. And again, it should be good for about 20,000 recharge and discharge cycles, which is going to last you a long time. You can look at the monitor, and this will tell you how much power it's putting out, as well as how much power it's receiving in the event that you are charging with solar panels or even with the standard charger. on top of it. One of the other things that I kind of looked at that was important to me was the temperature range. What I discovered was you will be able to discharge this in any kind of temperature without causing harm to it. Here where I'm living, low temperatures are the concern. However, you are going to want to keep it warm while you're recharging it. You're not going to want to recharge it in extreme cold, which is something to keep in mind. So just to wrap up real quick, some of the pros, again, portability, lightweight, small size, smart batteries, so you don't have to worry about damaging and recharging it or discharging it too far. A lot of options and flexibility, everything from USB to traditional outlets to powering up your entire camper. And again, if you want to use the 12 volt, you don't actually have to turn the fans on. You can just charge out of these, and these are always on and it won't activate the display. And super quiet, so it gives you a whole range of flexibility to use this in different locations. And again, because it's so quiet, I keep it right up by my projector, right up by my media player, and the audience is none the wiser, which was pretty sweet. The downsides to it, at 20 pounds, while it's still very mobile relative to other generators, it's still pretty hefty. You're not going to go a long way with this. You're not going to haul it very far. It does have the light, which is something that you need to be concerned about. It does take a little while to charge. Again, 12 hours with the standard charger, and then with the high-speed charger about 6 hours. And it is capable of being charged up to by 600 watts worth of solar panels, which is something to be taken into consideration. The other thing too is once it runs out of power, it's out of power. It's not as simple as running to the gas station or just grabbing the gas can and topping off your generator like you would experience with a gas generator. And then the final thing that I would say is the cost. This is not a cheap device. It's very expensive. But I know for me personally, what I was saving in space and weight and just the ease of use, it was worth the expense to me. As an example of that flexibility, here's my backyard movie setup. I run my projector, my movie screen with blowers, and my Roku stick all off the Kodiak. I don't have to do it with my sound, it has its own battery, but there would be no issues. I was able to run this setup for a couple hours, and I'm still at half battery life. Could have easily done a double feature before I ran into any issues. As I said, this setup is pretty expensive. The good news is we're able to offer you the promotional code BACKYARD with a link down in the description. Just want to say thank you for watching and thank you for your support.